This spring, I learned a lot about how children develop and change during their years in high school. I gained a better understanding of high school students and can apply this learning in my role as a future leader. Students in high school vary dramatically in terms of their physical development. As ninth graders, some of the boys are just entering puberty, but by the time the students are seniors, most growth has slowed and they have achieved their full height. Schools must continue to offer high school students healthy eating options as well as activities that allow them to move. As a school leader, I've learned that building movement into lessons and providing sports, classes, and clubs for students is essential to meet the needs of the whole child. Cognitively, high school students continue to develop their thinking, reasoning, and problem-solving skills. Some things to be thoughtful about are that high school students are often overscheduled with their classwork, extracurriculars, and social activities, and they are also becoming more thoughtful about their future plans and ambitions. As we visited high schools this semester, I was very aware of the wide variety of courses that are available to students, and those classes meet each student on their cognitive level. Students can take advanced placement classes, honors classes, standard college prep courses, and also career and technical level courses. As a school leader, I want to make sure to provide students with a wide range of options so that they can be prepared for their future after graduation. Also, within classes, I want to make sure teachers are still designing lessons that are differentiated to meet the different learning needs of the students in their class. In terms of language and literacy, students in high school continue to grow their vocabulary and the complexity of the way they communicate. Their language is more adult-like, and they are capable of carrying on conversations with adults. Often, high schoolers will change the style of their language depending on the setting. For example, they will switch their tone when in class compared to when they're with peers and also with their parents. Text messaging and social media are very significant ways that high schoolers use to express themselves. As a school leader, I would be intentional about providing lots of opportunities for students to speak and write with peers, teachers, and community members to help the students develop their language and communication skills. I've found that reading is stressed in a lot of school settings, but writing is not as highly emphasized. In my opinion, written expression of one's ideas is a critical skill that students must develop. Finally, I will be sure to teach students how to use electronics and social media responsibly in school and at home to ensure the safety of each student. High school students are continuing to form their own identity. There are many positives during this time. Children are thinking more about their future, they are exploring different hobbies, interests, and personas, and they're becoming more independent. They are also experiencing some challenges in high school. Students may be insecure about their appearance. They often experience stress about their grades and can even experience times of sadness and depression. During the school visits, I was particularly impressed with the ways that DSA provided a tremendous variety of activities for the students to explore. As a school leader, I believe it is important at the high school level to provide students with as many opportunities as possible for them to check in with people and allow them to build positive relationships with adults and peers. Several schools, for example, use peer advisories and counseling services to help their students. And finally, I learned a lot about how high school students are forming peer relations and how they are developing socially and morally. A dominant theme is greater interest in their peers rather than parents and other adults. High schoolers often are spending a lot more time with their friends than their families. Many children at this time are experimenting with more intimate peer relationships and even dating. Often, teenagers can experience a great deal of peer pressure and participate in risky behaviors. To help curb this, adults outside of the home, for example, coaches, can provide guidance for high schoolers. As a school leader, I want to provide students with safe opportunities for my students to build relationships. High schools have dances, athletic events, and extracurricular clubs that allow students to form relationships with their classmates. I would also promote advisories where students can talk to peers or adults in the building about their interests and their concerns.